Kids today are faced with more distractions than ever before, but there are ways to give them the skills they need to own their economic success, plan for their future, and make smart choices.
And here to help us create financially fit kids, Sloane Hobart, Charlotte's premier wealth manager and one of Retirement Advisor magazine's recent top financial advisors of the year, finalist in that category, and his 10-year-old daughter, Sloane Hobart. Good to have both of you here. Sloane, how are you? But you're not skipping school today, right?
No.
Okay.
No, she's not. She didn't have school today.
Nothing like skipping school to educate on finances.
I know.
There's a problem with this picture.
That's right.
Oh, that's great. Well, we're so glad that you're here with your dad today. Chris, we're going to start with you. You're known nationally as an expert financial advisor for those in and near retirement. So why are you talking with us today about kids and finances?
You know, the one thing that I'm seeing more and more with people that are retired or nearing retirement, they got their education through life. You know, and the issue that we run into is schools still aren't really focusing on teaching financial literacy. They're great with STEM, reading, writing, arithmetic. It's all great, but the area that we really want to make sure people are focusing on is going to be the ability to pay bills, to be good in the workforce, and to be a contributing member of society. And while schools do a lot of that, what we also need is we need to find ways as parents, as grandparents, to really be pushing our kids forward and really making sure that they have that preparation.
Okay, that's so important. I guess the big question with kids, how do you do that? What's step number one?
Well, you know, there's a number of ways, and what I want to talk about today, and it's a little bit selfish, is an organization called Junior Achievement. And I'm selfish because my daughter went to Junior Achievement this summer. I was a participant in that years ago, and I'm also on the board. But Junior Achievement is a volunteer organization, served 43,000 students in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg area.
How many students again?
43,000 students this past year.
That's great.
With Mecklenburg County or the surrounding areas. And it really works from kids in elementary school all the way up through high school to teach them about workplace readiness, how to balance their checkbooks and pay their bills. In fact, when I was in 9th grade, I participated in what was called the Company Project. And me and a bunch of other kids actually started a company, selected products, we sold the products, we had balance sheets, we had everything that made a company. And I firmly believe that today, that's part of the reason that I own my own business.
Set you up for your future.
It does. And when they did a study about this, what they found was people that went through Junior Achievement programming, they are more likely to have higher levels of education, greater satisfaction in their jobs, higher income. So, I mean, everything that we really strive for our kids, they have the ability to do. And Sloane took part in what's called JA BizTown, which is basically a city inside the city built for kids.
Sloane, can you tell us a little bit about your experience doing that? What was it like for you?
For me, JA BizTown was really fun, and I thought it was awesome because adults built basically us a city, and it just helped us learn what everyday adults do.
And I understand that you, in your duties there, became the CEO of American Airlines. How was that experience? To run
really
that big organization.
It was really cool for me because I felt like I was the boss and I could help my employees and tell them what to do, and they would listen to me.
You were the boss. Was cool to be the boss for once, right? You get to tell other people what to do. But really, what do you think your classmates got out of it, too? I mean, did they all enjoy the experience? What do you think are some of the top things you learned from it?
I think I learned how to do stuff that I will need to know how to do when I'm older, like cash checks and make money and sell products.
It's true. You know, my kids, Chris, you know, we've talked about this before. My kids both went through the JA BizTown. They loved it. It was one of the highlights of their elementary school careers. I mean, they loved it.
What amazes me about Junior Achievement and BizTown specifically, that's for about 4th to 5th graders. But they take these kids and they plow them in and they give them real jobs. Sloane loves going to the airport and saying, I used to be CEO of this company. I remember those days. But what's amazing about this process is we ask Sloane, hey, Sloane, what camp do you want to go back to next year if you get a chance? And she says, without a doubt, it's nothing else. It is the camp. It's JA BizTown. But the reality is, in order to do this, all of JA BizTown is 100% volunteer backed. That means last year almost 3,700 people had to volunteer to take part in that for about 351,000 man hours. That's just in this area for volunteerism.
And you volunteer. I mean, that's part of what you do.
Volunteer, and also I sit on the board because this, again, I can look directly back, have memories from Junior Achievement as a kid. building a business and understanding portions of a business that, quite frankly, most people don't understand in their adult life. We're giving that opportunity to kids. We're training them up to be part of the global economy, whether they're an employee or a business owner, whatever it is, we want them to be prepared. And as a parent, as a grandparent, what we have to do is either put our kids in those programs or, very importantly, and what I'm going to ask everyone to do is volunteer. Volunteers are needed, whether it's elementary school, all the way up through high school. Doesn't matter your education level and finances either.
I was just going to ask you about that. Who is a good volunteer? Is it really anybody who's willing to help?
It's anybody who's willing to help.
Okay.
There's programs that are in the schools. There are programs at BizTown, which I will tell you, BizTown is a city within a city. You've been there. It's absolutely phenomenal. The other side of that, though, is BizTown is going to be moving, and they're creating Finance Park and BizTown. So the goal with junior achievement in this area is going to be to serve over 600,000 students. And the only way that we can do that is to have the volunteers and have people participate on that level. And let's face it, there's a lot of things that we can give our time to.
Sloane, do you have any advice for your dad there? Since you were the CEO of American Airlines, it's a much larger company than his company.
That is true.
Yeah. What's your advice for your dad?
I think he's already a good boss.
There you go.
Oh,
perfect answer right there.
Right answer.
I'll take that.
Very nice.
I'll take
Now
that.
you get a milkshake after this for that answer.
Right.
Chris wants you to know that you can help kids in our community, again, through kindergarten, through high school, learn valuable financial skills and really empower students to make a connection between what they're learning in school and how it can be applied in the real world by volunteering at Junior Achievement. Visit jacarolinas.org, jacarolinas.org. Thank you so much for being here. And Sloane, very well done. Thank you so much.
Very nice.
Thank you.
You'll make a great CEO someday.
I know.
Really?
I'm preparing her. I'm getting ready to retire.
We're volunteering to work for you, okay? Calling
Chris,
tonight.
thank you.
There you go.
All right, well, still to come on Charlotte Today.